What's up, everybody? The Comics Noob here, also known as Ronin1011 from Ronin Gaming. You can just call me Ronin, or you can just call me the Comics Noob, a doob, whatever you want. With me, as always, is my boy. He's my boy, AJ Dubs. AJW, what's up, man?
How's it going, man? How's it going, everybody out there?
Formerly known as Alec. No, not formerly known. He's still Alec. He's still Alec. We call him.
I legally changed my name to Donald Trump, so that's what everybody has to call me now.
Now I hate you. No, so Donald, how was no, never mind. Okay, anyway, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Comics Noob podcast. If you don't know what this is, it's basically what it is. I'm a noob to comics. I'm an older man getting back into comics, starting with the first editions of things, anything I can find, get my hands on. Initially starting with DC Rebirth because they started over, and I said to myself, well, now would be a good time to get back into it. So we've been talking about a lot of DC stuff recently, a few Marvel things, nothing other than that we haven't talked about, reviewed, but we will be very soon. This is a spoiler type of thing, so if you haven't read any of the stuff we're talking about, it's going to be spoilers for you. And also, I completely forgot what I was going to say, but yeah, so today I think what we're going to talk about is what came out this week. If you're listening to it, this is the week of June something or other. This is the week, June 15th was the day that Batman and Superman and a bunch of other shit came out. And today we're going to talk about Batman Rebirth #1, the actual #1, not the Rebirth one, but the actual #1, and Superman Rebirth, actual #1. And it might be a short one. I don't know. I think that's really all we're going to talk about. So, I mean, that's that. Let's just jump right into it. Might as well, right?
Straight off the bat, what the fuck is up with this? I am Gotham, and this is Gotham Girl or whatever.
Okay, so
what is?
Yeah, I don't know who they are. I did not research them. So if any of you out there know who Gotham is, I am Gotham. Whoever Gotham is, it's obviously two people as one. I'm interested. I'm kind of interested. Okay, now I mean we're obviously going right to the end of the comic, and that's fine. So, but I'm interested into seeing who they are. Basically, at the end of this comic, again, spoiler alert, Batman basically is trying to save a plane from crashing in, he's redirect. All right, so the plane was going to crash into the middle of the city, and he's miraculously redirected it using bat gadgets to crash into the sound. Okay?
I'll be totally honest. This, even though I've read so much Batman, I know how Batman works. I know all the Batman type of shit to do, in a bad situation, but this still had me pulse pounding. I didn't know what the fuck was gonna happen here with the plane crashing. I don't know what fucking gadgets he was using. He was talking to this new sidekick character, and
Duke.
This guy was just figuring out all the measurements and the math behind it and stuff, and he even right up until the last second when this Gotham person saved the plane, you still thought okay, Batman's gonna die, the pressure's gonna kill him, what's gonna happen, I like shit like that. And also on top of that, this Gotham and Gotham Girl thing, no matter how cheesy it seems, it's at least it's a new character. As much as I love Batman, and as unique and as unique as all these stories are, all these separate, graphic novels and stuff like that throughout history, still it's always seems to be oh, the Joker's back. Now it's Batman versus Joker. And oh, the Riddler's back again, or the Killer Croc's back again. Now it's it kind of feels like how Hush was. Who the fuck is this guy? Who are these people? What the fuck is going to happen?
God,
now?
Hush, that was a good one. I got to go back and read
Hush
that.
was great. Hush was really where it started for me with Batman. That was my first shit that I read.
That was Hush was the first one I had gotten in a long time. I bought the actual print copies of it. But yeah, no, I just want to jump on the back of what you're saying here, and I just fucking really enjoyed this. And although it still doesn't have a tie-in to Rebirth. Okay, but I'm okay with that. Yeah, but I'm okay because he's the one that found the Watchmen pin, and I want to fucking know. However,
okay, that's gonna happen though. That's gonna happen.
Right, but it's also happened in the Flash, though, right? It happened in the Flash, so I'm okay with that because if we're gonna get that stuff in someone else's comic, I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
So,
as long as we see Batman's side of the story. I understand what you're saying.
right.
You know,
I just want to make sure that we get to see this
I mean, of
guy.
course, dude. Come on, putting
I
the
mean, obviously
Watchmen
they're gonna,
pin in
yeah,
DC, in like not DC Comics obviously, but like this like Batman and Flash and all that shit. That's big.
right,
Like that's huge. They're not just gonna ignore that.
right.
Like
So I mean,
I think if anything, they're keeping it out of the Batman comic on purpose because now they have all of that what's going on, plus now he's got his own fucking villain to deal with. Or whatever this guy is. I mean, if he's a hero, which he's not a villain. Obviously, he didn't let the plane crash. Must be
but doesn't
some
mean he won't be an
hero.
adversary, right? It doesn't mean
Exactly,
he's
the
gonna be
adversary,
a friend,
enemy to Batman.
especially to Batman. Batman fucking hates everybody.
Yeah, he does not. He does not
Everybody.
like when
Green Lantern.
anybody
Who the
comes into
fuck
the
are you,
city.
bro? He's
Yeah,
like, what the?
yeah.
Get
This
out
is
of
my
here.
fucking city.
Yeah,
like,
get the
I
fuck out of
just
my
came to
city,
say
you
hi.
jerks.
Jesus, man.
Fucking
relax.
jerks. So Batman's a big jerk, but hashtag Batman's a big jerk. So yeah, I mean, I gotta agree, man. I really just enjoyed. Like this is like something I feel like you'd see in like the fucking like 60s or 70s version of Batman.
And let's
or the
also
80s, where it's like, yeah, like, give me the angle, and he fucking just,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna fucking. So I'm thinking the whole time, wait, you're gonna fucking jump on this plane. You're gonna die. Like, how is this gonna end? And
then he does the most Batman shit ever, and it just goes to like a random box, and he's just like, "I'm on the plane," and he's just sitting there riding it.
and he's like, "This is the new fucking bat plane." I was like, "He's like, you're riding."
Yeah,
on your bat."
exactly.
He's like, "It's all
like the new
yours,
Batman.
Mr. Wayne, Master Wayne. It's all yours." So Duke
So
Thomas
funny.
is the dude's name, right? Kind of cool. I like it. I liked how he was like. You had asked me.
Yeah, this guy's obviously a fucking genius. Like,
Right.
he's obviously
Well,
Tim Drake
he's
level.
got, like you said.
smart
You
as
said Tim
fuck,
Drake,
you
right?
know?
You said.
I mean, well, I don't know about Tim Drake level because Tim Drake was also, he built shit. He invented shit. He made shit with his own hands.
We
He
don't know this
created
guy
entire
yet, but I'm
algorithms
sure he's going to be
and
something
computer
else,
systems,
though. I think he's going to be a different type of thing. But just a simple fact that, like I said, you had asked me yesterday when we briefly talked about it, and I said save it for the podcast. You were like, you wanted to know whether or not this guy was doing the calculations himself, and essentially he's like. He's like, he's like, what's the time? Like, Batman's just to the point. He's like, give me the time. Give me my time frame. He's like, yeah, the quote is, yeah, time, of course. Sorry. Let's see. You need to hit the jump in 55 seconds, right? And then before that, he's like, and you need to do a forward roll of, I guess, 13 degrees. Yeah, 13 degrees. That should do it. Like, so he's figuring this shit out on his own. Like, he's looking at these calculations and, I mean, I that's what I took away. He could be just watching numbers crunch on a screen.
But I mean, that was pretty fucking impressive,
No, very cool, man. Very cool. And it's just, I mean, this thing just fucking ramped the fuck. It was just like, jump right in. Let's get it done. And I also said this to you yesterday. I haven't read comics in a long time, and now just inundating myself with reading all these comics, I'm really getting back into those short storyness of comics. Like I've been reading novels. I've been listening to, well, it's the same shit. I listen to audiobooks because my day job is a mailman. So I listen to audiobooks and I've been listening to audiobooks since 2010. And 6 years later, I'm probably listened to probably over like 200, maybe 300 books or something. Like I'm insane.
Yeah.
I'm insane with that. So
Definitely.
my point is
all
that
the Star Wars, all that shit.
Oh, I've read about 55 Star Wars
hey.
novels, but and I love series novels. I love to read series, obscure series, sci-fi series, fantasy series.
Yeah.
I
was like,
all.
hey, the Witcher novels are cool. You were like,
read
all right, read them all in a week.
Fucking read them all in like the
fuck?
matter of two, in like less than 2 weeks, right? It's basically, probably like maybe like less than 2 weeks. So my point is that I guess I was focused on long form, like I was focused on this long storytelling. But then I get back to comics, and it's just, I'm like, yeah, because at first I'm like, wait, that's it? That's it, And like, you have to be so damn concise in comics, and this is where you really get like, and this is coming from somebody who actually wanted to be a comic book artist, not a writer so much. I dabbled in comic book writing, but I really wanted to be a comic book artist. So that was my very first initial thing that I ever wanted to be ever in my entire life that I can remember being. And then later it was kind of like a lawyer for some reason. I thought maybe I just wanted to make money, and then I got into the computer graphics and animation and stuff, and that's been my passion for the longest time. But dude, who's writing this? Tim King? It's written real well, man. I really,
Yeah, it's
I
so
really
like,
like the way this is written.
and also throwing it in there too. I fucking love the suit like so much.
Yeah, the goddamn
Like
suit
I
is just dope
fucking
as
love it.
shit, dude.
And
I love
I
the
have
outline fucking.
and I had the comic. I think it was Batman 50 or 50. I think it was 50. That he brought that suit out, and it was just like so cool with the yellow
Well,
outline and the purple back of the cape.
what's the
Like
reasoning behind it?
so
It
fucking
was just
cool.
an
Well,
updated
I mean,
version.
it was he wasn't Batman for a long time. It was Jim Gordon, and I didn't read that.
This is New
series.
52?
Yes, this is New 52.
Okay.
I didn't read that series, but I was reading Batman and Robin Eternal, which basically introduced this character, Mother, who was like pretty much the general of an army of like sleeper agents. Like
Oh,
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
that was kind of her thing. But anyway, there was no like Bruce Wayne Batman in this. Like it was a current storyline intertwining with a past storyline. And in the past storyline, obviously Batman was there, but in the current storyline, like Bruce Wayne had like lost his memory or some shit. So I'm guessing that's what happened in the New 52 Batman.
Okay,
I
yeah.
haven't read that up
Right.
yet. I'm gonna, it's on the list.
Yeah, I gotta get. Yeah, I
But,
know it's on the fucking list.
Yeah,
But I
he pretty
mean,
much comes back and he says to Jim Gordon, like, it's my fucking city, like, I'm back, let me take shit over, blah blah blah.
yeah.
And he's Batman again. He brings out the new suit, he starts kicking ass, and it's just like old times.
You bring up a point that I want to bring up at the end of this podcast. But I mean, so I don't know, man. I mean, if you haven't read Batman #1 and you listen to spoilers, sorry, but just fucking read it. It's so cool. He fucking takes the fucking jets off of his ejection seat and puts them on the fucking plane. And it's just, I guess, because they're I mean, this fucking guy, who would have put magnetic jets, booster jets,
That's
on the
thing.
bottom
He
of your
thinks
seat?
of everything.
So
dude.
you
He
could
thinks of
just
everything.
maybe need to take them off to put them on something else. And I'm looking at the panel right now where he's
One day I'm
popping
gonna
it
have
back
to
on.
stop a plane from crashing. So let me just make these
Oh
magnetic.
no, not, you know what? Not magnetic. It actually looks like it's pressure sealed. Because he presses the button, it looks like air shoots out. So my mistake. It looks like it's pressure sealed.
Oh,
I mean,
well, that would make more
dude,
sense
this
then.
is just he's riding a fucking plane.
He has like doesn't he have like a chain or ropes around it or something?
He's got a
I have to
rope.
look at
He's
the comic
holding a
again.
fucking
Yeah.
cable.
He's riding that shit like a horse, like he actually is. It's
Okay,
fucking awesome,
and
dude.
he's holding onto the cable. It's attached to him. It looks like it's attached to his fucking belt, and he's give me 17% to port and this and that to starboard, like, and he's oh shit, we're gonna need more, and he flies through fucking buildings.
Yeah,
Like,
and I'm sorry, but this is why Batman is my fucking favorite over all other heroes, because like what would any other hero like in the Justice League have done? Like fly over, grab the plane, and put it down safely. Yay, what they fucking do? Like they made a whole fucking comic that was exciting as hell on this guy saving a plane from crashing, and it would have worked even if these people didn't fly under and grab that shit.
and it would have worked, although Batman would have died, which we'll talk.
Yeah.
Which basically he's basically on his way out, and you mentioned it to me. It was a nice throwback to the Dark Knight, and Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
Which was what was the quote again? Say it again.
He asked if it was a good death.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man.
And it's just so I'm looking at the panel after. It looks like there was the guy who shot the rocket. Somebody found him, and there's this shadowed figure that says "Observe the clock, Batman," and I don't think it's one of the fucking. I don't think it's any of them. I don't know. I'm looking at it now. It looks like someone in a fucking trench coat.
I mean, the first thing that popped into my head is Hush, but they did Hush in Batman Eternal. They had a whole thing with Hush in there, so I don't know if they'd bring Hush back so quickly.
I barely remember Hush.
Or maybe isn't there a guy in the Watchmen that has a fucking trench coat?
Rorschach, but it looks like he's too little to be Rorschach. Rorschach's not that big. He's like a little dude. Whoever he is, he killed the fucking guy. So if Batman's gonna go looking for him, guess what? He's dead. He's gonna find one dead on the roof. So I mean, anyway, I mean, I guess that's it, right? I mean, we basically marveled at everything we're gonna marvel at in this comic. Who is I am Gotham? She's Gotham. Oh wow! Did I miss that? Oh
What?
God, I'm an idiot. Wow. Yeah, I thought I just can. I am Gotham. She is Gotham Girl. This is our city. We are here to save it. I
Yeah,
didn't
like
realize he
since
said
when is
Gotham
it?
Girl. Okay, my bad. I'm like, oh, I thought it was kind of cool if they were both Gotham, like they both considered themselves Gotham. I was like, I didn't. Wow, I'm a fucking jerk off. And you know what? And I knew that that was Gotham Girl. Wow, I'm an idiot. I just didn't read. Just didn't read. All right, well, great. So yeah, so and they've got the the stylized G in the chest. Who the fuck are they, man? They've got Superman's
I don't know,
diamond
man.
shape. They fly. What are they? They're fucking dope though.
And like who? Like they're gonna have to have some sort of hefty ass argument to tell Batman that it's their city. Like
Yeah,
that's
I'm really looking forward to that.
that's you know that's
I'm
crazy.
really liking where I was just blown away. I was like, I had no idea where it was gonna go, and it's just, out the gate, I'm fucking happy. So, yeah, man. So what? And anything else? Anything else that we want to just throw in there real quick?
No, that's
No.
about it.
Okay.
That's about it for me.
This is gonna be. I think it's gonna be a short one, guys. We didn't really get a chance to read a lot of stuff. I know a bunch of stuff came out. But not. I acquired. I should say not. I was able to get a lot of comics to start reading, which I'll tell in a second. But I'm gonna talk about real quick. Why don't we? I want to talk about Superman because, and maybe convince Alec to give it a whirl. I was able to get all New 52 Superman, which I want to read still. I am reading Superman Rebirth. I am not reading Action Comics Rebirth. Not right now because
I don't even know if it's a rebirth, to be honest.
it
I mean,
is.
it
No,
had a cover
well,
that says
okay.
Rebirth, but
It's
I never see rebirth in the name.
It's
you know
actually,
what I mean?
but it's okay. So it's actually, here's the thing. It's continuing. It's like issue 900 and something. Okay, that they're doing, but it's the newest one. I mean, it is. It's part. It's part of the Rebirth series, I believe. I think it's part of the Rebirth.
Well, because I don't even know if this is gonna cross over.
It's part of the. Listen, well, it's okay. Here's the deal. DC Universe. All right. If you look, there's a checklist on my copy of Batman 1. There's a checklist of what's coming out, right?
Yeah,
So, Action Comics number 959 has come out that's July, so I guess it's going to be 958 is going to be the one that's probably out next week. And they're also in Detective Comics. So Action Comics and Detective Comics are continuing their numbering. They haven't reset, but they're part of the Rebirth. So I don't know what's happening in those stories. I'm not going to pretend I do. I do know that Superman is the new Superman, not the Superman that died in Death of Superman. That Superman that died is in the new Rebirth, number 1, which I'm going to talk about in just a second. So
wait, but are they Clark Kent?
yes. So okay. So
But why?
all right. So here's the backstory from what I know. And please, if you're listening and you know more than I do, please let me know. Correct me. School me. That's why I'm here. I need to figure this all out, which I'm going to rant about in a minute, or at the end of the podcast. So okay, basically what happened was Superman died, and I don't remember what happened. I know he got other people became Superman and all this shit. There's 4 of them: a metal one, a guy in a black t-shirt. I get that. The original Superman was resurrected. Okay. Through, I believe, something in his Fortress of Solitude, okay? Again, don't quote me on this. Please correct me. Please school us on this. So as far as I know, so he had come back to life and ended up marrying Lois and having a son. I don't know where that was, where that came from, which comic series that's in, if it's a New 52. I don't believe that's a New 52, but he is in New 52 because at the end of the New 52, what happens is he basically fights the new Superman, and it's like a different dimension, okay? He comes from a different dimension where his world, his Earth, I believe, was blown up. I have no idea why. I don't know who did it. I don't know any of that backstory, so forgive me if I sound like a jerk-off right now, but this is from what I'm gathering. So you can imagine me jumping into this. It's like, I have no clue what's going on. Let me just jump in and go. So the New 52 Superman did all this stuff, fought all these things, did all this stuff. I think they said he was kind of a jerk. He was kind of a dick. But he ends up fighting the Superman, the old Superman, the original Superman. And so the New 52 Superman dies. Okay, he dies. So Rebirth, Superman Rebirth, which was out a couple weeks ago, has him basically going through and saying, listen, this happened. He kind of explains what happened a little bit in the comic, and then he ends up. So Superman was buried underneath a memorial. Okay, if you're following Rebirth, what happens is Superman, they can't find Superman. He's presumed dead, and that's when all of the comic characters, remember that big 2-page spread where they were all standing there, and when you saw Green Arrow and Canary, and then he's in the while he is he's like oh, and he's talking about each of them and stuff, and they're all there because Superman's dead. Well, he did die. He died in the fight with Superman, old Superman, but he didn't die. He didn't kill him. I forget. He died somehow, some other way.
So the Supermans fought each other.
Yeah, they fought each other.
Okay.
And so the newer Superman dies after the older Superman comes into this world, and I don't know how. I will find out, or you guys can tell me, but I'm going to, either way, I'll find out. I probably want to read it myself, but you can tell me anyway. I don't care. I don't care about spoilers. I'm not a fucking big deal of that. So basically at the end, during the Rebirth issue, he goes down into the vault, and Lana Lang is there. Okay? And she's like, what the hell was she doing there? I don't know. She was trying to cut in there. She was gonna take him out of there and bury him next between his parents. That's where he wanted to be buried, and she knew that. So the original Superman, who is now the new Superman, okay, the new old Superman, is like, hold on, I died and I was reborn.
Wait, who the fuck is Lana?
Lana Lang is from Smallville. That was the girl he had a crush on in Smallville. Okay, I'm not.
So what happened to Lois?
Lois is when he moved to Metropolis and became Clark Kent, he became a reporter. Then he met Lois. He didn't know Lois. Unlike the TV show Smallville, which is one of my favorite fucking shows. I don't care how they fucked up the history. They were both in the same show at the same time. Fun fact though is that the girl who played sorry about that, guys. The girl who played Lana Lang in the Superman 3 movie with Christopher Reeve, she played Martha Kent in the Smallville TV show. So that was pretty cool. Anyway, so he says, listen, let's take him to, he's like, I had a Fortress of Solitude. She's like, oh, he has one too. He's like, let me take him there and see if I can't fucking basically resurrect him. He goes there, messes with the Matrix there, okay, the Kryptonian Matrix, finds out this version on this planet, in this dimension of the Fortress of Solitude does not have that capability. He's like, well, shit. I guess I'm your new Superman. Hello, world. I'm Superman now for you. So they end up taking him back. So the beginning of the beginning of Superman 1, now Rebirth number 1, is really, dude, it was just, I want you to at least read this one, dude. It's so poignant, and it's just, I really like the writing of this, who's writing this. And fuck, man, it's like the whole opening scene essentially is him talking to Superman, basically, out loud. He's like, look, I'm sorry you died. I tried to save you. I would have saved you if I could, but I can't. So we brought you back here to be buried in between your parents, because this is what you wanted. So we did it. I'm sorry. He's got tears in his eyes. He's up on a hill where the parents are buried, and it's just really poignant. And he's like, you know what? He's like, now I'm Superman. I will be their Superman. This world needs a Superman, and I will be that man for them. Basically I'm putting the cape back on, man. I'm hanging up my t-shirt, because he just wore a t-shirt when he was Superman after the fact, if he was resurrected. And he's like, I'm now putting the cape back on, donning the cape. So interesting thing, in Rebirth, do you remember when you saw him at his farm with his kid and the son? There was the girl, the guy that came there.
Yeah.
Okay, and he's like, who the hell are you? He's like, oh, don't worry about me. There's some big things coming for you, Mr. Soups. He was like, what? Who the fuck? He apparently he said, you know, whatever, some things are happening, he's like, some shit's gonna go down, so just be prepared, bro. His name is hold on. His name is Mr. Oz. Okay, I just wanted to get that right, Mr. Oz. And he's like, Mr. Oz, you know, he's like that. Oh, so he puts his hand on the grave, and as he pulls it away, it's glowing blue. His handprint is glowing blue in the grass. He's like, that's weird. I'm still trying to figure out what the character calling himself Mr. Oz meant when he said that me and my family are not what we think we are. He's like, and now this? So apparently there's something. So either they're copies from the other world. I don't know. I'm intrigued. And then basically this particular issue is called Son of Superman. So his son has powers, okay? And he's got to control them. And he's being real fucking dope about it. Like, he's being real cool about it. Like, he's like, listen, he's like, if you want, we can go work on your powers. When, you know, you come help me use your powers. Oh, sorry, my mic. He's like, you can use your powers to help me. Oh, because in the beginning, there's like a storm, a lightning storm, and it burns the barn. And it's basically told through, like, the son's perspective afterwards. Like, the rest of the comic after the grave scene. And he's like, oh, but the animals are fine because my dad's Superman. Yay, you know? And Superman's like saving the cows and shit. And he's like, so the next day, he's like, we gotta build this barn back up. He's like, so listen, why don't you go do your chores real quick and then come back and help me build this barn before dinner? You know, like something only Superman would say. You know, we're gonna real quick just build this fucking barn real quick. He's like, yeah, okay, I'll come back, right? So he's out with their cat, and a hawk comes, right, and snatches the cat up, and then this is, you know, his name is John, okay? So they named him after his father, Jonathan, right? So his name, but they call him John. So John's out, and he's running around with the cat, and a hawk grabs the cat, and he's like, let him go! And his eyes, a la Cyclops, okay, in the X-Men movies, can't control his fucking, you know, if you saw X-Men Apocalypse, he can't control his fire vision, his heat vision, blasts into the sky and just decimates the bird and the cat. So he kills his own cat. He's all upset. Looks up. He's looking at the corpse of the cat. Looks up, and there's a little blonde girl standing there. He's like, he just runs away. She runs away. He runs away. Later on at night, the girl shows up at the house and is like, I don't know why the fuck she shows up. Apparently her grandfather bought the farm like down the block. And she's like, hey. He's like, and they're like, John, don't be rude. Invite her in. She's like, hey, why don't you come in? Lois Lane is like, hey, why don't you come in and have some fucking pie? And she's like, no, I gotta go. Just stop by for some. Oh, I gave you milk. Oh, because it's a dairy farm. There you go. Grandfather has a dairy farm. They gave some milk. She takes off. They're like, what the fuck? They're like, why were you such a little dick to her? And he's like, whoa, tantrum, throws a tantrum because he's, you know, afraid of telling them that he killed the cat because he couldn't control his powers. Meanwhile, earlier in the day, his dad was like, listen, remember, control your, you know, don't use your powers right now unless, you know, we're working on them. And he's like, okay. So after he killed the cat, I'm jumping around, but after he killed the cat, he's like, okay, hey, so let's go build this barn real quick before dinner so you can practice your powers. I'll let you use your powers. You can, you know, and he's like, no, I'm cool. He's like, oh, all right. He's like, hey, but the coolest part was like, you know, Clark was like, oh, okay, hey, listen. Do it at your own pace. I like that. You know what I mean? Like being cool about it, you know? So yeah. So basically, and then at the end of the issue, Batman and Wonder Woman come. And yeah, so you know, it's a really cool perspective because you know how like when you're a kid and you see adults talking, you're like you don't know what it's about and you just think it's really important. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like they could be whisper talking. You're like, oh shit, they're talking about something crazy. Telling your stuffed animals, right? Oh shit, or your brother. Oh shit, mom and dad are.
Wait, real quick. I just thought of something, and like I have to ask you because I'm sure you'll know. Do you remember that movie that came out? Fucking Superman Returns.
Yeah.
Why does nobody else ever talk about that movie?
Well, here's the thing.
Ever.
It's actually
like I know it sucked, but like why did like
listen? Like, I don't listen. It didn't really.
Everyone's
suck.
Like, oh, Man of Steel, and that was the start of everything.
Okay, I don't think it sucked. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say I don't think it sucked. Brandon Routh looked the part of Superman. Okay, I really do think he did look the part of Superman. He was too soft spoken. Here's the thing. Okay, a lot of things at once. Christopher Reeve, he just was Superman. Like he had the persona, the bravado, but also the heart. You know what I'm saying? To be that, like he was if he was wounded in, like emotionally, he was wounded. But when he was Superman, you don't fuck with this dude. Like when he puffed his chest out, you were like, whoa, okay. I got you. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. Like he just looked the part. Brandon Routh looked the part, but was too like, he was like, he wasn't like, he had a little bit of bravado, but not enough in my taste. And that was actually essentially a direct sequel from Superman 2 after he fought Zod. Superman 3 and 4 just basically didn't happen. Although I really enjoy 3. 3 had some really cool shit. He goes back to Smallville. He fights an evil version of himself, which is very comic book like. And I got Richard Pryor in it. So I mean, fucking Richard Pryor was hot back then, man, I
mean, I love Richard Pryor. Like,
listen, I really enjoy Superman 3 as a one-off. I just figure that's a graphic novel that just kind of happened and is a one-off. Superman 4 was fuck you. Like, you just fuck. We're not even going to get into that. We could do a whole
Who played
episode
Superman in that?
Superman 4? Superman 4 was this guy that Lex Luthor made an evil villain that has Superman powers based on the sun. So he used this, he got a piece of like Superman's hair or something, and he like created him using the powers of the sun. So now he has the same powers as Superman. Yeah, it was just awful. We don't have time to get into that. So anyway, so Brandon Routh version, I mean, that's what it was. And it was like, okay, whatever. And then the Man of Steel, he's just too, again, we don't have time to get into that. But you know what? We could do a whole episode on comic book movies if you want, because that could be cool. But it was just too, he's so mopey. And don't get me started on Batman.
I would really
Superman.
like that. I would really like that because then we could go back. We could go back and talk about all the Batman movies from the 80s and 90s and stuff.
Well, that would be that could be an entire episode. Fuck it, man. Let's just fucking do it, man. Let's just fucking one of these. We'll do like special episodes where it's just gonna be we're just gonna talk about that. Fucking awesome. Okay, cool. So anyway, that's really all I wanted to tell you about Superman. I really would like you to read them because like it looks like it's really cool. So like I said, end of the comic, he's talking to he sees his parents, and that's why they shifted focus to him. And from it was written really cool, dude. And the artwork is just really cool because he's up in his room looking out his window, so he's basically peeking out the window. And he's using his super hearing to hear what they're saying, and he's catching snippets of it because he's not really good at it yet. So and they're talking and then all of a sudden, Superman realizes his son's listening. So there's a panel where he just turns his head and looks to the side. And the son goes, huh! And he trips over a lamp and breaks a lamp. And then Superman shows up at the very last panel. He sees him coming to the door. And he opens the door, Superman. He just stands there. And he just says, quickly and quietly, you're coming with me. And he's in his Superman costume. And his chest is huge with the huge ass. So I don't know what's going to happen, dude. I don't know what's going on. So something's happening, and it was just so cool because it's like, oh, look, the adults are talking. And now they're not just adults, they're fucking superheroes, okay? So, the adult superheroes are talking. What are they talking about? Oh, my God. Oh, my God, it looked at me. Oh, my God, better hide. And his dad walks in. He's like, yeah, get your clothes on. Come with me. We're going to do something. So anyway, it's really cool. If you haven't read it and you're not into Superman, just try it, man, because I don't give a fuck what anyone says. I fucking love Superman, and I gotta tell you, I'm really happy.
Well, everybody loves Superman. I think I'm the only one that doesn't.
No, dude, I really think everyone doesn't love Superman, and I really think there's only like 3 people that really like Superman, and I'm one of them. All of my friends do not like Superman. Nobody.
I mean, maybe the comics even are good and stuff, but it's just like, to me, he's just such a boring hero because it's like, if you're gonna read a comic about a hero, why read one about the guy that flies with the laser vision and super strength and he sees through shit, he has no weeknesses? Why read that one? Like, there's all these
he's fighting
other
against
ones,
people but then that's why you have the other characters, because they're more grounded. But listen, again, we could do a whole nother episode of me trying to convince you why to like Superman. Listen, that's fine. That's fine. I couldn't care less about any of that because I just love Superman, bottom line. So, having said that, let's move on. That's all I want to say about that. That's going to be an early what you should read. That's what you should read. I'm going to give you the first 2. I know you have a lot of shit, but they're really short. It's 16 pages, is not a lot of fucking pages. You know what I'm saying to read?
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So real quick, we briefly talked about this. Let's talk about you said you were going to get some tats. So why don't you tell me what you were telling me before about the tattoos, tattoos, tats for short, the tattoos that you wanted to get.
Well, I mean, right now I'm just I'm picking the certain like cells from the certain comics that I want, but pretty much my whole arm's gonna be like a sleeve, and it's just gonna be like it's gonna look like one big comic panel, but it's not gonna be like like a story or anything
It's just
like
gonna be
that.
like the
It's gonna
separate.
be yeah, random things from all different comics of all like my favorite characters that just like fucking look awesome. Like I got this one of like the Azrael Batman like holding fucking Bane, and he's like hanging with his head back, and he's telling him to just kill him and shit, and he looks all awesome with the suit. Like
Oh shit,
I'm gonna
that's
start with
awesome,
that
man,
one,
yeah.
Like I got a lot of awesome ones.
Nice, man.
But it's not just gonna be that stuff, like I'm gonna get some stuff from the Witcher comics. I want to put Pinhead from Hellraiser in there
Oh, you
because
gotta get,
there's
but you gotta
comics.
get like a really stylized, like artist, like gritty rendition of it, dude.
Yeah, I mean
You
it's
know, like I bet you if you go on like fucking Tumblr or DeviantArt or something, you can
yeah, I
find
was gonna say
really sick
DeviantArt,
fucking, or have it commissioned. Have someone fucking fuck it. I could even copy one for you and just freehand it for you. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I'll fucking
Yeah,
do
I mean,
it. I drew one of my good friends when I was growing up. He wanted a tattoo, so I actually drew him. I drew him one, and he took it and had it put on his leg. So I am a. Would that be considered published? If I
I don't
have
know.
a tattoo, a piece of art I've drawn is now on somebody's skin forever, and this thing was
I mean,
colorful as
that
fuck.
counts for something.
You
That
know?
counts for something
So,
without a doubt.
but dude, that's fucking great. We've been talking about years, you and me, getting our favorite video game logos tattooed somewhere on our bodies.
Borderlands, man.
Borderlands, Assassin's Creed. There's a few of them there. I have three myself. My first one I got when I was young, maybe like 18, 19, no, 20, 18, 19, 20 maybe. It's Japanese symbol kanji for it means to rise above. And yes, I am 100% sure that's what it means. Not only via internet, but I had a Japanese woman who when I used to do martial arts, I used to do Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune Do. I studied Jeet Kune Do for almost 2 years, and
nice,
there's a
nice.
Japanese woman there who was like, "Oh, rise up," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's I knew it as rise above, but yeah, And there's a reason I got that. And maybe if we ever do a Q&A, I can talk about that. And I have my kids' handprints on my arm. Each of their baby handprints from when they were newborns. We put it in ink, and then I doctored it up in Photoshop. I put their names and dates they were born, and I brought it to the tattoo artist. I had those, so that's what I have.
Crazy little kids.
They're crazy. They're wonderful. So, yeah. So basically, I mean, I guess that's about it. I don't want to bore people and inundate people with shit like that. So let's jump into what you should read. I already basically said what you should read. And this section I want to just like extend a little bit, because so what I mean by that is, okay, Alec, you should read Superman. That's what I'm telling you should read right now. All right, I want you to read Superman. There you go. Just to check it out, just to see. Okay. I already know what you're gonna tell me, like you tell me every week.
What am I gonna tell you?
Attack on Titan.
No. I mean, no. I've already said that 1,000 times.
I
I
know.
know you're gonna read it eventually, but
Excuse me, I just burped into the microphone. I should cut that out.
there's actually something that I want to read more of, and maybe you might be interested in too. Is like I picked up the Timely Comics for Drax, from Guardians, and the only reason I really picked it up is what caught my eyes, that it's written by CM Punk, the former wrestler.
Are you serious?
So yeah, and I actually had a Thor annual from like last year or
Oh.
something that he wrote too.
Wow.
And yeah, so I like his style of writing and shit, and I really like this shit, man. Like he really does the Guardians really good, and I like the Guardians a lot, and that's what I was gonna say. I think we should read more.
You know what?
Shit.
Fuck it. Let's find an issue.
It's so fucking funny, dude. Rocket Raccoon and Groot, like they're so funny.
Dude, fuck it. Let's find a number one to start at, and fuck it, let's do it. I also picked up,
because Thing is in the Guardians. You know that, right?
Is he really?
Right now, Thing is in the Guardians. Peter Quill is the king of some fucking
Wait, the Thing from
planet for
Fantastic
some
Four?
reason. Yeah,
Really?
yeah. Peter Quill is the fucking king of some fucking planet for I don't even know what reason, and some girl like his wife or something is Star-Lord, and fucking Groot has dreadlocks. Venom is a guardian. Like I don't know what the fuck is going
Oh
on.
God, I heard something about Venom that he went into. Yeah,
he's like a space knight and shit.
Yeah,
like,
Space Knight, Venom Space Knight, which was a #1. I think a #1 just
all
started.
the covers look so fucking cool. Now they're up to I think like 8 now, or 7 or 8.
Oh, okay, well, still, yeah, dude, crazy. God,
Yeah.
well, okay, you know what? That's actually, that's actually a really good tie-in. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that's a really good tie-in to what I want the rest of this to be, because Book of Death. And that was on you. You told me to pick that up. I got Book of Death.
I'm getting Eternal Warrior tattooed on me. He's gonna be one of the cells.
Nice.
That's on the sleeve. Throwing that out there.
Nice. Well, I got 1 and 2, issues 1 and 2. I'm gonna start that. But the point is, I'd love it if people would give us other things besides Marvel and DC, basically, to read. All that, like you said, the weird stuff. I have Preacher still. I got to get into.
Wait, real quick, you want a really fucking good one before I forget? That's not Marvel. That I think it might be Dark Horse, but I think it's Brian Azzarello, if I'm not wrong. I hope I'm not fucking that up. 100 Bullets. It's actually being made into a movie.
Yes.
With Tom Hardy. You know, they got
I just one of the other podcasts I listened to. They said that, dude. And also 5 Ghosts.
Fucking good, but 100 Bullets is like the shit, where this guy seeks out these people that have like had something really fucked up done to them, and he gives them a gun with 100 untraceable bullets, and and like the name, the address, the location, all that bullshit of like whoever fucked them over.
Oh,
so basically, it gives them like a 1 chance for revenge and shit, and it's like. It's so fucking cool. Like, it's so cool. The way it's drawn, the way it's written, it's fucking awesome.
We're definitely gonna have to check that out. All right.
Because it takes place in like the slums and shit. And it really captures like what it's like, you know what I mean?
All right, cool. That sounds
really good. It's really good.
Also, 5 Ghosts is something I'm gonna look into as well. So I'm gonna look into that. But yeah, and just to round this out and to end this, there are so. Oh wait. Before I say that, I also got the issues 1, the first 3 issues of Marvel's Civil War 2. So I'm gonna start reading that, and I want to check that out. It actually seems really interesting. They had the Free Comic Book Day one that was like a little thing, like a little prequel thing. I read that. And I've got 0. Okay, so it's issue 0, 1, and 2 is what I have. And I'm going to read those. And then there's the one-offs. I also got Civil War, it's The Amazing Spider-Man, Civil War 2, The Amazing Spider-Man, and Civil War 2, The X-Men. And I'm not sure what other shoot-offs I'm going to get. All right, and I was thinking about it, and this is basically what I keep leading into, is I would love for our audience, as small as it may be right now, or none, I don't even know, hopefully not, but help me figure this out. There's so much out there, / so much has happened in these characters' lives. Like in this, I kind of get really overwhelmed because I want to read everything. I want to get into everything. I want to know what happened with everything, but I know that's ridiculous, and it essentially could take me a lifetime. And I also don't want to get overloaded, because there will be a point where it's just like, I won't have the time. Obviously, I won't have the time. I have a full-time job. I have kids. I'm married, and plus, I gotta do my video games. I gotta play video games. Gotta watch movies. There's just so much to do. So, anyway, my call to everyone out there is just help me figure this all out. Let me, if there's anything that you would love us to know that we haven't talked about, that of the things we're talking about, please let us know that. Just I don't know, like, just school me on it, help me out, because I feel really overwhelmed and I could really use the support, And it's just like, I really just want to do everything. I really just want to read all of it. But let us know any really cool stuff that's not traditional. Any of this stuff that's not traditional, from, like I said, Valiant, Dark Horse, Even to the smaller companies.
Preferably something really violent, lots
Well,
of
violent
blood,
is cool too, but
brains and bones and shit.
Yeah, you were kind of like making fun of me, like, dude, read something that's not superheroes. But you know what? I love superheroes. So anyway,
that's why I like Punisher, because it's superheroes and brains and blood.
and
It's awesome.
Okay, so real quick, when the hell is this? So the new Punisher's coming out when? Next week? And
No,
where the
next
hell
week
is
would be
Steve
the Captain.
Rogers, Captain America #2? What the fuck? I can't find that. I thought
check
it would be
this
out.
No, it's bi-monthly. It's every 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. And when Rebirth came out, when Batman and Superman came out originally, that's when it came out too. Because our first show, we did Batman Rebirth.
Or maybe it's monthly. Maybe it's monthly then. Hold on,
maybe it is monthly. For some reason, I'm an idiot and I can't find the information. Maybe I'm not looking hard enough. Anyway, so that's it, guys. I think we're just gonna end it there. Once again, so I did my calling to everyone. Please help me figure this out. If you are listening, I hope you enjoyed this. All right. I started a Tumblr for this podcast. So now basically it's Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, all are the Comics Noob, comics with an S, Noob, the Comics Noob at Twitter, on Tumblr.
Oh, Flash next week.
What? Flash is next week. Oh, Flash.
Yes.
And also, didn't Green Arrow come this week too? I got to get Green. We're going to be talking Green Arrow then, because I got to read Green Arrow. So I thought it was this week and I can't find it. So I don't know. I get all my shit digital, so. All right, so either way, next week's going to be fun, too. I can't wait for the Flash. So, I'm really enjoying the DC Rebirth. Let us know if you're enjoying the DC Rebirth. So, like I said, you could reach us at those things. The Comics Noob. The Comics Noob. The Comics Noob. Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram. And, yeah. So, and, YouTube, the YouTube channel, which if you're listening to this on YouTube, thank you. Hit the like button. If you're hearing us on SoundCloud, thank you. And I don't know if by the time this comes out, we'll be on iTunes. I'm going to try and get on iTunes. I don't know if I have to pay for it. I haven't been able to do that research yet, but I'm trying.
I think you do. I'm pretty sure.
All right. Well, I'm going to look at it and I'll see what I could do. I make a little bit of money from my YouTube channel, my Ronin Gaming YouTube channel. So also check out Ronin Gaming. It's Ronin1011. It's youtube.com/Ronin1011. The YouTube channel, we need 100 subs before I can make it a custom YouTube. So, it won't be like youtube.com, the Comics Noob yet. Right now, it's just a link. But if you're on here, YouTube, watching this, then you probably got this from one of my other, social media things. But anyway, that's it, guys. Anything else? Lastly, no?
No. That's about it for me.
I think we've done it. Okay. Guys, thank you very much. I appreciate it if you did listen to this. Thank you for hearing us rant and rave about this stuff. We like doing this, so I think we're just going to do this anyway. Regardless, because we just
talk about all kinds. I really, really want to talk about the movies.
Yeah, I think soon.
Really
I think soon, maybe sometime in July, since it's getting to the end of June, or maybe before. I don't know. We're gonna do like that. We'll do a special episode where we just talk about comic book movies, and maybe specifically just like maybe Batman movies, and then one time Superman movies, and then maybe something else.
Batman Forever. Yes.
Oh God, please.
Best one ever. Come on, dude. Come on. Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey. Come on.
Save it.
Come on.
I've got words about that, so save it.
Come
anyway,
on.
That's it, guys. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you listening to us, and I can't speak.
Really
appreciate it. All right. So that's it. Thanks again, and we will see you next time. So peace out.
See you later.